What matters in real estate? If you guys have ever seen any of my stuff, or listen to any podcasts I've been on or come out to one of my events, you know that there's only 3 things that matter in real estate. Number 1 is deal flow, making sure you can go out and buy deals. Number 2 is money flow, making sure you can raise money and still find financing. Number 3 is operations. Those 3 things are the only 3 things that matter in real estate. If you can find deals, find money, and refine operations on a consistent basis, you will always have success regardless of the economy, regardless of market cycles, regardless of upswings or downturns, doesn't even matter. If you can find deals, find money, you can acquire properties, and with operations, you can run them properly, right? And so that's a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be talking about is these 3 things. Going to be the big bullet points. There is massive opportunity at our right in front of us. And here's what I mean by that. There's a quadfecta of opportunity, right? Trifecta, I don't know if quadfecta is a word, but I did it. Number 1, sellers are scared. Real estate owners who are selling right now are fearful of what's going to happen with them with the economy, and you can utilize that to your benefit to negotiate better pricing, sourcing of deals. Number 2, lenders want out of the volatile stock market and they want into fixed assets. They want predictable returns. You realize that 2 years of gains have just been wiped out in the past 2 weeks. 2 years. One of my best friends' dad was planning on retiring this summer because of what happened in the stock market, and he was so heavily invested in the stock market. He's gonna have to work the next 5 years. He's added 5 more years to his work life now, and reduced his retirement by 5 years because of what's going on in the equities markets, right? So don't invest in the stock market. Like all these lenders are looking to park money into fixed assets because it's more predictable, right? You can see it, you can feel it, you can touch it. And so we have deal flow because sellers are scared. We have a bunch of private money because of what's going on in the stock market, but values are still strong. So the financing is still there too. And the appraisals are coming in super strong, right? Terms might change a little bit. They might be a little bit lower of a loan to value, but right now and everything that I'm refinancing, all of our terms are actually coming back better than what we originally predicted, 30, 60 days ago. So all the stuff that I'm currently in the process of refinancing or purchasing right now, interest rates have gone down because they've gotten lower. Now they've kind of balanced out at 3.5%, right in that range for the stabilized stuff. Even though, and I don't want to get into the weeds on this too much, but even though interest rates have gone down to 0 from the Fed rate, the Fed lends money to different banks and institutions, right? And then they've typically in the past, put a spread of around 300 basis points on there. So if they're getting money for free, and let's say the Fed was at, I think it was at like 1.5 or something before, and then they dropped by half point, and then they dropped it down to 0. So if it was at 1.5 before, 300 basis points would mean the interest rates would be around 4.5%, right? Adds 3 points. So now what's happening is although they're down to 0, interest rates aren't going to 3%. Now these lenders, these institutions are putting in kind of a floor and saying, hey, it's going to be, 1.25 is going to be the floor, and they're trying to make a little bit more of a spread on their basis points. So instead of making 300 basis points, they're trying to get 350. So they're not really passing all of it along to us. The financiers are the ones making more money. But for stabilized stuff, you're looking still in the 3.5% range. For the stuff that's more variable, like the bridge loans and everything, you're looking at probably closer to high 4s, 5%, somewhere in that ballpark. I will say it's a little bit tougher to get bridge loans right now if you don't have the background and the track record of doing that and the balance sheet and stuff. So you're gonna have to probably stick to a little bit more stabilized type assets if you don't have that track record and that. We're fortunate where we do have the track record, and we do have a big balance sheet, and we do have a lot of liquidity. So we can still go out and get bridge loans, but if you don't fall in that, you're gonna have to look a little bit more at stabilized type properties, or bring somebody on like me or somebody else who has a track record who can help qualify for those loans. But look at this. You got significant wholesale deals popping up on the market. Financing still available, and values are strong. Interest rates are low. Money's cheap, right? 3.5% interest rate. I mean, you're talking about making a payment every single month, and you're taking money out of your right pocket and putting it directly into your left pocket for the most part. Very, very small percentage of it is going towards interest. Majority of it's going towards principal pay down. So that's a big deal. I mean, I don't know if it's ever happened where values are still strong, people are still lending, and interest rates are this low, right? Like that is an unbelievable opportunity for us, and properties can still be purchased at a wholesale price, right? Typically, money's easy to flow, but properties are more expensive, or properties are super cheap, but money's hard to come by. You got the best of both worlds, and you got deal flow and money flow.